The new moon in Sagittarius is finally here. And this new moon is very special because the energy of this new moon is very potent and helpful and supportive to help us to heal, to help us to leave the wounded parts of our past behind, and to visualize and dream and imagine a brighter, a more expansive, a bigger future. It's an energy that helps us to refocus our attention in the possibilities, in our goals, in who we want to be, and what we want to stand for, instead of being too focused on the roadblocks and obstacles along the way. As Sagittarius itself is a very idealistic, very visionary sign. It's a sign that boldly claims its right to live their life in their own terms and that boldly goes and aims for what it wants, just like the archer of the Sagittarius. So stick with me if you want to find out more in depth all the ways that this energy can support you during this new moon, and also what are the major challenges and roadblocks that you may face, that it's also important for you to know in order to be able to best navigate this energy. As I mentioned before, Sagittarius energy can help us to recover from old wounds. This is because Sagittarius is a very optimistic and positive sign that usually recovers very quickly after setbacks. This is because they are focused only on their vision, on who they want to be, on where they want to go, on what they want to learn next. And this is usually something foreigner. This is usually some hidden knowledge that they need to go on a crusade for. This is usually some culture far away in another country, something that can ignite their soul and spark their interest. And because of this, they do not like to be tied down and they are not afraid of taking risks. So if you have been stuck in a place of depression or a place of feeling paralyzed by old pain, by fear, by wounding, this energy can help you greatly to just pick yourself up and go, to refocus your attention on your goals and on yourself and who you want to be and where you want to go. This energy can help you to release yourself from the dogmatic beliefs of others. So if you have been in a place in which you have been confused, not knowing exactly what you stand for, and allowing yourself to be guided by other people's visions and beliefs, but not so sure if you align with those beliefs, this is the time where you may have that clarity and in understanding who you are and what you want and what you stand for. And because of it, you can create your unique vision and solidify your identity. This energy is great to start new things, but since we are on the verge of Mercury retrograde transit, these are not new things that you start from scratch. This energy is more favorable to start new things that you have already been thinking about, that you have already been envisioning, but for some reason, you didn't have the courage or the time or the clarity in order to start them. Or maybe it is a past project that you have given up on due to the circumstances of your mind or situations of your life. And this is a great new moon to recover those old projects, to finally put the first blocks on that vision that you have dreaming about and imagining. And during this period, you will have more clarity and also that Sagittarian boldness and positivity to just start walking the direction that you really want to go. Unfortunately, as with all in life, during this new moon, we will also be dealing with some opposition. We will have Pluto opposing Mars, we will have Jupiter opposing Mercury, we'll have Chiron opposing Lilith, and these oppositions have been ongoing. It's an energy that we have already been dealing with for some time. And joining during this new moon, we'll also have the Sun conjunct the Moon opposing Jupiter in Gemini. So I will not be speaking in detail about these oppositions. However, if you would like to know more, I have more details in my last video. I spoke more about this transit, so I will leave the link down below if you want to check it out. I will be speaking in general about this particular new moon and the days to come, what these oppositions can bring to you, what are the major challenges and roadblocks that are important to point out. So having an idea, having a belief, it's a great thing. However, if you become so attached to your beliefs and to your ideas, to the point that you start disregarding or being unempathetic towards other people's vision and other people's beliefs, or worst, if you get to the point that you start trying to force your ideas and beliefs into other people, this can create a serious problem. Unfortunately, one of the negative and dark sides of Sagittarius is the blind belief, is the dogma, is those people that are like Hitler. Hitler had an idea and a vision that he believed so strongly that he got to the point in enforcing it in his entire nation, and worst, to trying to eliminate anybody that opposed that idea. So this is how dangerous the dark side of Sagittarius can go. This also blocks learning or the acquiring of any new information. And if you're stuck into a dogma, if you're stuck into a blind belief, to the point that you're not allowing any new knowledge to come through, you do not evolve, you do not learn, and you do not grow. So during this new moon, it's important to reflect. How can you assert your identity with respect and empathy towards the beliefs of others? And it's also important to think, how is the attachment to your beliefs stopping you from growing, from communicating, from sharing, from learning, from innovating or acquiring any new information? It is also important to speak about Jupiter in Gemini that will be opposing this new moon. This may bring an overinflux of information, of communication that can make it confusing and overwhelming for you to distinguish what is real and what is not. Or it may just leave you feeling overwhelmed and tired. Actually, since this position of Jupiter has been for quite some time, it is possible that for quite some time you have been feeling like this, confused, overwhelmed, just grinding over one information to other, one video to another, just scrolling through the internet, scrolling through Facebook, and not being able to go in depth into anything, not being able to just focus on one thing or to say, this is really what I want to go for and interest me. This is why it is said that Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini, because Jupiter is about expansion. It's already an expansive planet in energy, and Gemini is already an expansive sign. So it creates this over-exaggeration of a quality, which can be overwhelming for the human mind and for the human energy and body. Also, Jupiter have been for some time being squared by Saturn from Pisces. And Saturn can only express himself with the energy of the sign where he is in. And Pisces creates difficulties by doing what? By creating illusion, by dissolving things, by making things confusing, difficult to understand. It's also known for creating lies, gossip, fantasies, delusion, making you want to escape reality, making you want to lose yourself in a fantasy world. And this, because this energy have been ongoing, maybe you have experienced this difficulty in distinguish what is real, what is not. Or just into establishing a schedule, a structure, or setting boundaries effectively in some area in your life where you have these transits going on. So during this new moon, this may come strongly into your focus in order for you to be able to reorganize, reprioritize, and get things back into alignment. However, as with everything in life, we cannot just be focusing on the mess and the chaos that the energy itself is bringing into your life. It's not about you trying to grab onto everything for your dear life and try to be a robot and trying to control everything. Most of us, we are really good in being robots. We learned this very early in our lives because of the demand of our modern life and society. We learn very quickly how to schedule, how to wake up at 5 a.m., get ready in 1 hour, catch the bus or sit in our car and get to work at time and just do and keep up with all the tasks our bosses are telling us. And then we leave and we eat and we go to bed and we rinse and repeat. Most of us, we are already quite good in doing it. So what this energy is doing is teaching us not to be like that, to be more human, to be more connected with our energy. Because this energy comes to create this mess, this confusion, this disorganization, this unpredictability. So things that you have planned, that you have scheduled, may not go as planned. Things may go out of your control. So this energy is teaching you to be more flexible, to go with the flow, to not be so stuck and so holding on too much to a strict routine or even to strict beliefs. Since it's square in Gemini, square in Jupiter in Gemini. Because maybe you have a belief and then you receive some shocking news that will shake your views of the world. And because of these shocks, these surprises, these clashes, these revelations, this confusion, this lack of grounding, is teaching us to live in a more open state, more connected with our energy and being prepared to change directions when we need to change this direction. To listen to our energy, to connect with our bodies, and to listen where you need to go instead of planning where you need to go. Listen when you need to turn instead of planning when you need to turn. And maybe you're just this type of person that under this energy, you are so good in organizing and you have your schedule. Despite of all confusion, you are able to stick to the schedule. And then suddenly you get a mysterious disease that rends you useless. This is also a manifestation of Saturn square from Pisces. Because Pisces is very connected with our health. And it's connected with those type of diseases that are caused by energetic and spiritual imbalances. So if you have been forcing yourself into doing things that do not align with you, or forcing yourself into strict robotic schedules, maybe you are able to keep up everything perfectly, but then your body will sabotage you and will protest. And through this process, you will learn to let go. You will learn, okay, I want to do everything perfectly, but I need to listen to my body. And if my body is telling me rest, I need to stop and rest. And through all of this chaos, mess, and difficulties, and illusions, and confusion, and even maybe mysterious health issues, you will somehow find out that things are still getting done. You are still moving. You are still maybe somehow evolving. You may be still moving towards your objectives. You still getting where you need to go through all the confusion. Somehow, somewhere, you end up where you need to be. And this is what, in the end, is the lesson that we are learning overall, which is also a quality of Sagittarius, is to have faith in a higher force, in a higher power. Faith that we are being guided. Not in a logical way, not in an organized way. We may walk through a battlefield or a mess and somehow end up all right, and somehow end up where we need to be.